We found ourselves advising on how to fish. Like we know what we're doing. Seriously?
Ta-da!
So today didn't quite go as we expected.
And then the surge just like fired our paddleboards onto the rocks.
Into a wall of cactus.
So I'm going to try and follow everybody else today, and maybe, just maybe, we won't get lost.
Don't you know there's flesh-eating bacteria in the tropics that enter through your feet?
An innocent drip landed on my shoulder, but for some reason it really freaked me out. Not yet at home in the rainforest.
Off the beaten path is a term that's been used in our comments.
Why are we in the front?
I don't know.
This should not be happening.
This is where you look ridiculous because no one else can see what we can see.
I just keep walking forwards doing this in front of my face.
Last time on Red Seas, we made an important update to Indioko's navigational systems and installed a new autopilot. We replaced our incredibly old system with a slightly less old one that we picked up secondhand from another cruiser. But I was super excited when I learned it had a time travel component, which, of course, we keep in a cupboard in our bathroom. Ian did some magic with the cables to connect everything and laughed at me for not knowing how to use a door. We worked late into the night to get it all finished, and then lifted anchor and set sail the next morning to calibrate the system and draw crazy tracks in the sea on our way to Carriacou.
All right, the sails are up, the sun is back, and now we're just sailing. We're going to see how far north we get. We might not make it to Carriacou before sunset, but we can always stop in at Ronde or one of the anchorages in Grenada.
So we actually got interviewed in a podcast the other day, and part of it was the person interviewing us is a new cruiser, and she had just got herself one of these setups, and we found ourselves advising on how to fish. Like we know what we're doing. Seriously?
She's clearly never seen one of our episodes.
That's it, yeah.
Fly away, my pretty! You gave me the really long line. I'm going to be here all day. You want to see my new trick?
Yeah, go on.
So because this... Don't fall overboard.
Very nearly did. That's a first.
You all right?
Yeah. All right, new trick.
Okay. So this line is so long that I was like paying it out. It was taking ages. So I was trying to like let it spin freely, but then I was nervous that I was just going to drop it. So I put my arm through it so that it couldn't like come loose. And then I started like feeding it through. And then I guess with the force of the lure and the water, it just started spinning itself. And I was like doing a hula hoop. That's good, isn't it?
An accident waiting to happen.
You can tell that I went to school in a small little rural area, can't you? Because that makes me think of, oh, sports day. When you do the little hula hoop race. When you create loads of different sports so that everybody gets to win a medal. Everybody's good at something. Mine is hula hoop fishing. Ta-da! So we weren't sure how much power this new autopilot was going to take up, especially if it was kind of making constant adjustments to the helm the whole time. So I just went to check the battery and we're at 95% capacity. It's only lunchtime and we are under sail, so half of the panels are probably shaded. We have got our Starlink running constantly and I've just put the induction stove on, using up our electricity as well to make some lunch. This is just ridiculous. Who cruises like this? It's amazing.
The hardships are real. It really is tough on the sea sometimes.
You look so stressed right now.
I am. I'm typing Facebook updates and letting our patrons know what we're up to. It's terribly, terribly hard work.
We're about to get so much hate. You're not doing it properly. You should be living off grid and not enjoying it.
If you're going to write that message, before you type that in, just remember, go back to some of our other episodes. You realize that I am making a joke. because
This is our tiny little redemption moment after all the running around and things breaking and people attacking us.
Pretty much,
Give us this moment.
this is it. Just in one moment. Just give us one moment.
Not quite the plan we started out with.
No, and lightning too. Yeah. So today didn't quite go as we expected. So I think we spent a bit too long time-wise screwing around with our autopilot and drawing circles and silly pictures on the map. So yeah, we've ended up, instead of making it to Carriacou, we're lucky enough, there's a halfway stop. A tiny little island called Ronde Island. And it's like usually a bit of a retreat, although there's loads of boats here today. You might remember Ronde, actually, just remembering, way back in like special one, like episode 7, 8, we went to Ronde with Dreamcatcher, Jake and Stephanie. We caught lionfish and we had a bit of a dive here. It was really nice. But yeah, we're not going to make it to Carriacou tonight, so we just have to pull in here in the dark, which is not great because the holding is not great.
We'll be fine.
It'll be fine. We're always fine. Like, it's just part of the adventure.
Would you look at this place? It is absolutely stunning. I have been craving getting off-grid and getting back to beauty and clear waters and being able to go for a swim, and this place absolutely delivers. In Grenada, it's just not, it's beautiful to look at, but it's really busy with a whole ton of people. The water's not that nice. It's really crowded. And so yeah, just to be able to jump off the back of the boat is the first thing that we do when we wake up in the morning. That is what life is all about.
By far our favourite part of cruising is meeting other cruisers, and this bay has been no exception. We've bumped into some new friends, Karen and Alex, and they've invited us to go for a hike today. Of course, like us, they do absolutely no planning, so this could go one of two ways.
This is such a nice little beach. I never even knew it was here. But we have just tied our paddleboards under a tree. We've met our friends here in their dinghy, and now we're just starting to roam the sand and try and find the trail. I've already warned everybody that that should not be my job because you all know my history. So I'm going to try and follow everybody else today, and maybe, just maybe, we won't get lost.
And the path is done.
So it's not just me, you've all got us lost. So Karen claims that she's seen some marks and we're going to follow this path. I'm just delighting in the fact that I'm the back and this cannot possibly be my fault today.
It can. So it's funny because just yesterday we got a comment on a video of one of the classic Brioni hikes. Someone said, "What is it with you cruisers and wearing flip-flops on hikes? Don't you know there's flesh-eating bacteria in the tropics that enter through your feet?" It's fine. Like, we can't afford shoes. So this is what we have until they die, and then we get some duct tape and make them live a bit longer.
It's worked so far.
It's fine. Flesh-eating bacteria can be friends, not foes.
I did just go to check on the paddleboards as we left the beach, and I saw this like giant, yellow, scary, tropical-looking spider. So I'm definitely going to check that before I jump back on with my bare feet and get eaten alive and turned radioactive or whatever happens from the spider bite.
Radioactive would be cool. You seen that video where someone's like, they catch something unexpectedly and they go, "Just in case." No, okay.
You never know. That was amazing. We were just all walking calmly through this forest, and then 4 things happened, all at exactly the same time. I heard Karen go, "Uh-oh," from something up at the front, so ominous. I then got tangled up in a vine that was like floor to ceiling, really thin thing, but I managed to get 1 foot either side of it and it tangled around my face. Then an ant bit me on the ankle, so I was distracted and looked down at that. And then just an innocent drip landed on my shoulder, but for some reason it really freaked me out. I'm not yet at home in the rainforest. I just keep hearing you go, "Uh-oh." What has she broken now?
This feels very dead end, huh?
Wasn't expecting that.
We've decided it's worth retreating to where we last saw a junction in this path, and hopefully we'll find our way onto the marked path.
We'll find something anyway. Oh, that was a spider's web. There were 2 of them and they touched me.
Again, they're probably friendly.
Why are we in the front?
I don't know.
This should not be happening.
This is definitely where we came though, right?
No, I've got absolutely no idea. We could end up in Puerto Rico at this rate. Oh, there's a wee spider's web. So having actually come back to the beach and then read the instructions on where we were supposed to go.
A cairn, as in a pile of stones, indicates the path in the rocks north of the beach.
I think we might have started on the wrong beach entirely. As lovely as it was, we're going to move up to the next one up the bay and see if there are some rocks that look like they start a path.
I survived.
Success!
I
You made that look
survived.
pretty good.
Death traps.
All right, so we can't see really any rocks here that mark a path, so what we're going to do is try and head up around that little corner and see if that's a better starting place. Attempt number 2! Well, that was an adventure. I'm sorry that we couldn't film any of it because this is not a waterproof camera, but we paddled over from the other beach, and then as we got here, we were like, oh, it's all rocky. And then the surge just like fired our paddleboards onto the rocks.
Into a wall of cactus.
And we had to like try and climb off them before we got popped on a rock or popped on a cactus spike. But we managed to kind of lift them up over and we'll leave them there and hopefully getting back will be slightly easier.
For clarification, she means the board's getting popped. Although I suppose metaphorically us also.
I do not want to be popped. So unfortunately, Alex and Karen don't have a stern anchor, so they weren't able to like beach their dinghy anywhere here. So we've said we will come ahead and be the vanguard and see if there's actually a hike here, and then maybe they can come and try it later if there is.
Vanguard, do I get a badge?
Sure.
I want a badge.
A sash,
Sash is a bit...
headband
Yes, Vanguard headband.
with horns.
Absolutely, but one has to be going down. Okay. In classic Red Seas fashion, this marks the path, and this is the path.
Straight up the hill.
Just be aware, now that our flip-flops are a bit wet,
Oh yeah,
everything's extra slippy.
excellent.
It's quite fun.
So this is definitely still quite jungly, but also definitely much more a path
By our standards.
by our standards.
I don't know how we find ourselves in these positions. This is noted on the one reference I found online as a well-marked path.
And it's not even our fault this time. I know it looks like it because we're here on our own.
But there might be bears on this island. I'm expecting at least one Komodo dragon who's
That
made
would be
friends
cool.
with an iguana called Trevor.
I don't really know anything about this hike and what we're expecting to find or see at the top or where we're going to end up, but even though we've only been here about 3 minutes, the scenery and the greenery is just incredible. Like cacti everywhere and succulents hanging out of trees and creepers climbing up trees and whatever else you call them, and big spider webs. It's like a laser maze.
Yeah,
Okay.
they walk straight into a giant, well, relative to the ones we've seen, spider.
Like a spider fortress.
Like right in the middle of the path.
Whoa!
That would have been an unpleasant surprise. Whoa!
Whoa!
That's a monster.
These things are everywhere. Out to get us.
Not even sure if I can get over this one. Big step.
Yeah.
This is where you look ridiculous because no one else can see what we can see.
Yeah, even I can't see it from standing here. But I do believe you. Oh, very good.
Gracefully done. It's getting proper Jurassic Park now. The bugs are getting bigger, the spiders are getting angrier.
It's like it's a proper marked path, but I don't feel anyone's been here for quite some time.
No, and the mosquitoes are huge and all over the place. So we're going to keep walking.
Yeah, we're just going to pick up the pace. We're going to get there, say we've done it, and run back home and feel like we did a thing.
Swim off the back of the boat and try and kill all the bugs that have attached themselves to it.
In some ways, I'm quite glad that we're just here on our own because we look absolutely ridiculous. I just keep walking forwards doing this in front of my face so that if I do walk into a spider's web, hopefully my hand catches it before my eyeballs do.
Another massive one. Walking the path. Some context.
And suddenly I can see the sea on the other side of the island. It's like progress. Oh, spiky bush. It's like we're getting somewhere. Look.
I see sand.
Oh, wow.
I see palm trees.
That's beautiful.
I see a small drinks shack with the name of Ian written on a bottle.
Imagine that.
I mean, that would be perfect, but I don't think that's true.
Going to be like our own private island, our own private resort in the middle of the Caribbean. Perfect. You just got to battle the spiders to get there. It's only for the committed. So now we're coming around onto the north end of the island. The attacking shrubbery is changing its tactics. So instead of scary spiders hiding out and everything, there's spiky bushes and a million cacti with like little red fuzzy things on them. So it's like a whole new place.
So I know it's cliche, but off the beaten path is a term that has been used in our comments. And when you start to see places like this, I start to believe you.
Yeah, it's less of a metaphor and more literally off the beaten path.
Yeah, as in no path. As in the beating took a long time ago, and no one's come back.
Do you think this is the not so nice beach that the guide talked about? Like, it's not really worth visiting, but if you carry on to the next one, it's lovely. Because from up at the top of the hill, it was like, ooh, golden sand and palm trees. And then you get here and you're like, oh, muddy water and a rock.
I think you'll find just over there is where the Coco Cabana shack is.
Yeah. I think I can hear the music pumping from the bar already.
So for context, that is Diamond Island, which is just off the back of Ronde. And out there in the distance, you can see the outline of another island. That's Carriacou. That's where Tyrrell Bay is, which is actually kind of where this adventure all began. And it's where we intended to go last night, but obviously got delayed. So I'm quite happy that we got delayed. When you see places like this, it only makes sense to stop, right?
This is so crazy. Like, we could see from the top of the hill that this beach wasn't as nice as the next one that we want to get to. But then you get down here and it is just littered with plastic bottles and loads of rubbish that has just been washed in by the ocean. And it's not even that big a bay for all the stuff to come in, but it's so sad when you come somewhere that feels like no one has been here in a long time and then there's all this waste lying around and we don't have a bag big enough to take it all home or dispose of it properly, which is a shame.
And just a tiny bit back from the rubbish tip on that little beach, you find somewhere like this.
Like a dried up swamp, but I can see sand and breaking waves. We made it! This totally reminds me of Scotland.
You've been away from home way too long.
Just as we came out into this like deserted beach with the sea being kind of wild, it's like the Outer Hebrides, these islands on the northwest coast of Scotland, which are super remote, but actually really pristine. And if you time it right and you go on the one day that is summer and it's quite nice weather, it's kind of like this.
With the palm trees or without?
Yeah, we can throw a few palm trees in there.
Yeah, I mean, you know. At least there's no one else here. I don't have to make excuses for anybody other than you guys and, you know.
This is actually starting to remind me of Mopion a little bit, because just here, someone's made a little sunshade so that any explorers who arrive here under their own steam can have a rest and recuperate away from the hot sun. It's really cool. If that was your raft, what do you think your chances would be?
I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, that, what's that guy's name? The one who did the Pacific crossing on a raft of like...
Oh, Kontiki.
Kontiki. If you can do it on a bunch of logs and cross the whole of the South Pacific, surely you can get from Carriacou to here on a couple of sticks of bamboo.
You go for it. I'm going to take Indy. and I'll see you the other side.
I mean, they made it. Whether or not the people were on it when they got here, we don't know. But what a place to land.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And check out this. Have you ever seen 2 trees more clearly designed for a hammock? Wouldn't that just be amazing? You all right there, sir?
I mean, someone thought this out. This is perfect.
That's so cool.
You got a little park bench on the go. You've got the palm trees perfectly slung for a hammock, and then you've got Diamond Island perfectly framed inside them. It's really nice.
Will I just leave you here?
I'd be here for quite some time before you had to come get me. I'd be quite comfortable.
All right, this is the true test to see if we can really live off grid. I sent Ian into the wilderness to try and harvest a coconut. You've got a big smacky stick thing. Yay!
Except
Now you have to retrieve it.
it's way inside the tree.
Sorry, I'm not filming this any closer. The sand is ridiculously hot and I don't have my flip-flops on. So I'm having to stay down where it's cool from the waves coming up. Hopefully he'll appear back any moment with a coconut.
Fruits of the sea. Land. Fruits of the land. However, fruits of the sea, what is this?
Bring it over, I can't get closer because the sand's too hot. What on earth is that?
I don't know, but it has a small solar cell on it.
Huh?
Tuna 8 Explorer.
Like a weather buoy.
It's something like that. It's presumably a GPS tracker. It's made to float.
Yeah.
All right, if you are watching this or you know what this is, somebody look it up. It's Tuna 8 Explorer and the serial number is T8E0522222051. It is on a beach and not chasing tuna.
How
Wow.
interesting. Anyway, we have a coconut.
And we have a coconut. So
Yay!
we need to figure out what we're gonna do with it. But we'll lug it all the way back and then we'll find out if there's anything. I hear something in it.
Well, I'll
Doesn't
eat
look
it
good.
anyway.
Yeah.
This was the vine that caught me, see? Trap lying in wait. There's ants over there, they'll bite you. I know every corner of this forest now.
Except where the path is.
Well, yes, there is that. Don't splash, you got microphones on.